All right, quick little class we have here, my holy brothers and sisters, my friends, on the quote. We have a quote book, and you can find it on Amazon. It's called 150 Teachings of the Baal Shem Tov. It's really based on his students who brought down different teachings in his name. And the one we studied today in our little study group this morning is that trust in God, but tie your camel. Trust in God, but tie your camel. Now, my original take, which is similar, I believe, to the Rambam or early Rishon, is, hey, trust in God and build your trust that whatever's going to happen today is from God, but don't be a moron. In other words, don't just think that for sure God's going to trust you today. Trust that whatever you want to do. A person wants to walk in the street, boom, we're not going to get hit. Who said we're not going to get hit? Maybe we will get hit because God runs the world by Teva, so act normal. Act normal and trust that I act normal in the world and make good, healthy decisions because we have choice and we have hard work, but the results, leave them up to God. Because Rabbi Shalom Arush taught me and taught other students of his that there are three things. There's hard work, there's choice, and there's results. There's hishtadlut, there's bechira, and there is totzaot, results. So when it comes to choice, I have to make a healthy, wise decision based on what I know to be right and what the Torah is teaching me, which should be one, hopefully. And I have to work hard at it. And that exists in the world called derech teva, not the derech of like the elokus, like of the divine. We operate in this world normally, most of us, unless we're an enlightened sage who is operating on a much higher plane. Now, a story related to that. My wife yesterday was in Sedona hiking all around, and something I'm so happy she's doing, we all should do to get our own self-care, our emotional well-being. And she was praying to God, thanking to him, and this is Hanukkah, that's amazing. And right after that, she saw maybe, I don't know how long she was praying, probably a long time. She's very, very good at these things. She saw a leaf on the ground shaped like a heart, just after she said, I love you to God, and a rock right after that. So in the world of derech teva, you'd say, it's just your interpretation. But you know what? I think she knows in her heart, and anyone who's somewhat awake would know in their hearts that indeed that was a little bit of a taste of existing in the derech, in the way of a spiritual level. So we have the world of nature and the world of spirituality. So that's that. So that was the first take I would offer on this quote. Again, it is trust in God, but tie up your camel. Great. You know what? Lock your house and go to work. But trust whatever happens. If a person breaks in, God forbid, that was the will of the Almighty. Fine. We have to make good choices. Bechira. Good work. Stadlus. And totzaot, trust in God. But one of our holy teachers, Rabbi Balafia, he offered us a different angle, which I think is so powerful that you'll definitely want to hear. And so I'd like to go over with that with you for the next little while, and I really hope you gain from it. Now, his take on this idea was as follows. The trust in God, but tie up your camel, really teaches us to be fully engaged and present and alive and striving for excellence in everything that we do. He told us, Rabbi Balafia told us, in the name of Rav Chaim Shmulevitz, that we can learn that a person has to be present and strongly present in all the activities we do throughout the day. In other words, trust in God. When you're busy doing faith and prayer practice, trust strongly. Trust, really trust. And when you're tying up your camel because you're a camel seller, tie it up well. So, well, okay. Where does this come from? He says that Rabbi Chaim Shmulevitz says in one of his Sfarim that we can learn from the Talmud, the Gemara in Brachot 32b. I looked it up so I can verify that this is true, not that I don't trust him. He's got an excellent, amazing memory. That it says over there the following. There are 4 things that a person should always strengthen himself in. Be mechazik himself. Do chizukin. And they are, let me read it to you. Where'd it go? They are Tanu Rabbanan, Arba Tzrichim Chizuk, Elohein Torah Maisim Tovim Tefillah V'derech Eretz. The sages taught 4 things require strengthening, bolstering. And they are Torah, good deeds, prayer, and occupation. So, in other words, that on this, Rabbi Chaim Shmulevitz is teaching in the name of Rashi's interpretation on the Talmud that a person in these 4 areas has to strive strongly, and that this quote that we're going over could represent 1 or 2 of those areas. In other words, we have Torah learning, good deeds, prayer, and occupation. So when I'm in prayer and I'm trying to trust in God, and God, help me to trust in you, I trust in you, I trust in you. Blessed is the one who trusts in God, then God will be his trust. So I need to strengthen myself and put more and more strength. What Rashi explains over there, the tzrichim chizuk. Rabbi Balafi explained to us the yitchazek adam bahem tamid b'chol kocho. That every day a person should strengthen himself with all of his might. That we need strengthening. We need strengthening. A person should strengthen them with all of his might. Everything. So if I'm busy, making phone calls, really make phone calls. And if I'm busy meditating, really meditate. And if I'm busy praying, really pray. And if I'm working, work. Now, tells us that when I'm praying, when I'm working on trusting God, trust. And when I'm working on tying up my camel, man, tie him up good. Enjoy tying up that camel. Now, what's next? So he then further talked with us about derech eretz. Now, derech eretz is an interesting term. We have these different teachings like derech eretz, kadma laTorah, that character development precedes the Torah. Now, derech eretz means the way of the land. Derech, way, eretz, land. So, but it's a confusing term. Some people translate it on being a mensch, being a good person. Work on being a good person. Other people say it's character development. Other people say it's how to be involved in worldly affairs. But here, in this particular Talmud section, Rashi has a definition that Rav Chaim Shmulevitz brought down in his, that therefore Rabbi Balafi is teaching for us. Let's look at this chain of awesome sharing. The way of the land. If he's an artist, in his art. If he's a merchant, in his sales. If he's a warrior, in his wars. Again, the way of the land. If he is an artist, in his art. If he is a merchant, in his sales. And if he is a warrior, in his wars. In other words, that a person should put all of his strength every single day into whatever his derech eretz, his way of going in the world, meaning our way of being in life. We're being in the world. We're being in the eretz. So if I am busy shopping, be in shopping. Don't be checking my phone 100,000 times. And if I'm checking my phone, check it, enjoy it, share, text, call. In other words, and it's something we hear echoed by many other spiritualities, that a person needs to be here and now and put his koach to be really in what we're doing. And by doing that, we're going to really elevate our experience. We're going to connect more with each other. So we're going to really enjoy tying our camel. So we shouldn't think, I'm going to trust in God. I'm just going to pray. And then when I'm doing other things, who cares if I really try at it? When I'm with my family, when I'm with my work, who cares? The main thing is to trust in God. Well, yes, the main thing is to trust in God, of course, but also that when I'm tying my camel, tie it good. And when I'm with my family, family it good. And when I'm with my work it good. And when I'm with my friends, friend it good. And when I'm with my studies, study it good. And when I'm with my mountain climb it good. And when I'm with my exercise it good. I think you get the idea. But I just wanted to emphasize it and try to help us all internalize this beautiful teaching that Rabbi Balafia taught us this morning based on this verse, really not a verse, the teaching of the students of the Baal Shem Tov, when you trust in God, but tie up your camel. So, blessings, it's Hanukkah. Let's be strong to wherever we are and light up with more and more strength the lights that we shine in the world. And when we shine light, really shine it. Have an amazing day.